navigating the rocky supply chain landscape. I'm joined today by Mike Jarrett. He is president and CEO of Jarrett Logistics. Hi, Mike.
Hello, Bob. Good to meet you.
Yeah, thanks very much for joining me today. So, with the pandemic lingering, fuel prices rising at record speed, supply chain bottlenecks having an impact around the world, why is it critical to have a fully optimized supply chain today?
Well, the most obvious reason for having a fully optimized supply chain is to be able to get your products from your manufacturing facility to your distribution centers and then to your customers as quickly, as efficiently as possible. So I think, more than ever, going back to the fundamentals, Bob, is really a key thing for handling what I would consider to be the most difficult supply chain environment that I've been in, and the 30 years that I've been in the supply chain industry. And you talk about fuel prices where they're at, capacity constraints, sourcing, procurement issues that go deep into the supply chain, labor shortages. The driver shortage is been an issue for a long time, and it's a major issue today. So, I think what it comes down to is you either have a broken supply chain or you have a thriving supply chain. And
one or the other, right? These days.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. And a thriving supply chain is pretty straightforward. It's pretty fundamental. A thriving supply chain is one that is fast, efficient, and reliable. So if you're a shipper of goods, if you have a fast and efficient and reliable supply chain, at the base fundamentals, you have a truck that will pick up your shipment on time and it will deliver your shipment on time. You have real-time visibility of that shipment, so you know where that shipment is at all times. And last but not least, if something goes wrong, you have a responsive person to talk to find out what happened to your shipment. That's really at the base, at the fundamental level, which I think is where we need to be in the supply chain industry right now. With all the issues we have, let's go back to the fundamentals.
Dealing, of course, with the reality that there's so much out of our control. We can't we can't control port congestion. We can't control a driver shortage. We can't control bottlenecks that are happening because just there isn't enough equipment in the right place. So that being the case, I guess you're suggesting these are things that you can control in the face of what you can't, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah, when you work with a 3PL who is responsive, who can provide you with a thriving supply chain, one that can get your products to market fast, can do it the most efficient way, which is to get it there in the least cost way, and then last but not least, to be reliable. When there is an issue, I always say this, in supply chain, it's like Murphy's Law. If something can go wrong, it will. So when something does go wrong, you need to have a responsive person available to talk to at all times to find out what's going on with your shipment. That's a basic fundamental component of having a fast, efficient, and reliable supply chain, a thriving supply chain.
So you're stressing the importance of people, obviously, but how can technology help?
Technology is an incredible tool, and over the 30 years I've been in supply chain, technology has evolved so much from the early days when EDI was the cutting edge technology in supply chain back in the 90s when I first got into supply chain. Now we have cloud networks. We don't even have to have our own servers in our physical facility. We have API as a replacement to EDI. API is an incredible tool to use. It allows you, it's called Application Program Interface. It allows you to connect with customers in a very efficient way. It's a very cost-effective way to be able to connect or tie your systems. For example, customers that have an ERP system, such as Oracle or SAP, to be able to connect to a TMS, a transportation management system, through API is very easy and efficient now. And it's a great way for technology to be a tool for us to be able to manage our supply chains more efficiently. Mm-hmm. It's not the end all, though. You still need people. Bob, to be behind the scenes, so to speak, to make sure that everything is running smoothly.
Now, you're saying technology does, for all it does have its limits, right?
Absolutely. It will, artificial intelligence, again, another thing that we use extensively here at Jarrett. AI is an outstanding technology. It's able to process data, and big data is available to 3PLs now and to shippers. So what do you do with that big data? Well, you need artificial intelligence to take that data, to be able to take previous activities in your supply chain to be able to forecast what your supply chain will do next, and AI does that for you. It's one of many examples in our industry now of technology that should be out there and be used as much as possible.
So where do third-party logistics or 3PL providers come into the picture now? They've been around a long time. How are they valuable now, and how are they involved in solving these challenges that we're talking about today?
Well, I'll tell you, there's a number of very effective services, value-added services 3PLs provide in the marketplace today. By definition, a 3PL is an intermediary. So we operate as an intermediary between the shipper and the carriers. That allows us as 3PLs to utilize technology and people who are subject matter experts in the supply chain industry to manage a customer supply chain. Again, fast, efficient, and reliable. And we do that with people that understand the supply chain industry and have technology to be able to do the things that a shipper ordinarily either doesn't want to make that investment into a TMS platform, into having people that have that type of subject matter expertise, or those that choose to not go down that path. And so as an intermediary, we're able to utilize our knowledge and expertise to manage a customer supply chain, and that knowledge and expertise and technology is scalable. It's scalable across all of our customers.
Great. Well, thanks for that. Thanks for that. Those observations, Mike. I want to turn now to just talking a little bit about Jarrett Logistics itself. Tell me about the company.
Well, Jarrett, I started the company in 1998. So we're in year 23. I'm the founder, the CEO, and president. We've grown rapidly. We've remained privately held, which is very exciting. We're a debt-free logistics company, and I couldn't be more proud of our people. We're a people-centric, tech-enabled company, and that's what we focus on. I believe strongly when you focus on your people from an inside-out perspective, your people will then, by extension, take care of your customers at the highest levels possible.
You also have an interesting component at Jarrett, a NASCAR connection. Tell me about that, your partnership with JR Motorsports.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that's an exciting partnership for us, Bob. We sponsor one of Junior Motorsports' drivers, Josh Berry. Junior Motorsports, of course, is the motorsports company owned by Dale Earnhardt Jr. Mm-hmm. And Josh Berry is an Xfinity driver that we sponsor. And we're really excited about what Josh has had he's finished first in a race just a couple of weeks ago. He's been a top 5 finisher in numerous races this year. It's been an exciting partnership for us. In fact, we have a race rally here in Orrville, Ohio, which is where we're headquartered, on July 28th, where Dale Earnhardt Jr., Dale Jarrett, who is our spokesperson for Jarrett Logistics, and then Josh Berry and the race car that Josh Berry drives is all coming to Orrville on July 28th. It's going to be a fun time.
That's going to be interesting. Of course, it kind of ties in with your own concept of trust and speed on the logistics side too, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, there's a very close correlation. A fast, reliable, and efficient supply chain is you got to have trust, right? You have to trust. There has to be trust between us and our customers, but there also has to be speed. One of the things that we do, Bob, that's different, and it's very fundamental, Again, I think going back to the fundamentals is so important post-pandemic, post-COVID. We answer the phone for our customers in 3 rings or less. How often, Bob, have you called your bank or your insurance company and waited on hold for many, many minutes, or didn't even get a chance to speak to someone? We are set up to where all of our customers have dedicated account personnel through what's called a CAT team. We'll answer the phone in 3 rings or less and answer emails in 10 minutes or less. Now that's fast.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, Jarrett, President and CEO of Jarrett Logistics. Thanks for talking to me in general about what it takes to navigate the so-called rocky supply chain landscape today, as well as telling me a little bit about Jarrett Logistics. Thanks very much for your time today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Bob. It's great to spend time with you today.